Boridar or Pronoundar, every pony. This is BronyDan. It's not original, but you try coming up with originality these days. You know, crossovers are something that have been done in all forms of media for God knows how long. And personally, I think they are the most difficult thing to do, because you need to have a good balance of whatever it is you're crossing over, and if you're a fanboy, then you need to make sure that you don't glorify one side without making the other side look bad. Now, if a writer is able to do all of that, then you could get something like the Star Trek and Doctor Who crossover, Assimilation Squared. Whereas if the writer is lazy and has no idea on how the characters and situations can work, then you get... Here come the engines tonight! Oh, well, anyway, MLP is no exception to this. There have been plenty of moments from fans where they've crossed Friendship is Magic over with something completely different. The most famous was probably with Phoenix Wright in Turnabout Storm. However, to have an entire series based around nothing but crossovers, then you get MLP Meets. I think the best way to describe this series is that it feels like an anthology series, in that each episode is its own separate thing with a different character from a different franchise written by a different person will come into Equestria and interact in some way with the colourful equines. It's basic, but it is effective to see what kind of situations you can create. The series was started by Logan Miller, aka Toucan LDM, who of course wrote the first story, Batman Meets My Little Pony, back in 2012. It's a little bit uncomfortable. Not to say that it's bad or anything, it's just that the writing just didn't feel as funny, the voice acting is a bit uncomfortable, and I can't be the only one who finds certain parts, well, terrifying. Seriously, hyper-realistic eyes should be banned from animation. I'm not sure if Toucan LDM had ever intended to make a series out of this, but since this video proved to be quite popular, he decided to continue with this idea. So far, there have been 16 episodes of this series, all of them written by Miller himself in some way, but he has allowed some other people to write their own ideas with him, provided of course they can make a good enough story around it. The name that appears most frequently in terms of a separate writer is Logan Reidenbach. Logan Reidenbach. Why does that name sound familiar? Yep, folks, Huey Toonmore himself is the second writer of this series. So far, he has only written 3 episodes, which was Superman, Homestar Runner, and my personal favourite of his, Godzilla. And he also provided some voices as well for the series, like General Zod.
I just hope this planet is a lot easier to conquer than that other planet, Houston.
Strong Mad and King of Town.
Don't scare the sheet! And I told you 200 times there is a serious lack of butter and or what's-it in this here thar cask.
And himself.
Why would we do that?
In fact, let's talk about the people who provide their voices for these things. Aside from Miller himself, the person who I think has been his longest collaborator has been the ever-talented Rena Chan, voicing Twilight Sparkle respectively, as well as a few others. Over time, he has managed to build up a little repertoire of performers, including Angel in Training X3, Shari Waingant, Sheila Gagne, and...
Our anniversary is today?
You see what I mean, Will? You could disguise your voice as best as you can, but I will find you. Seriously, are there any more surprise voice actors in this thing?
Princess Celestia, we've got ourselves a huge problem on our hooves.
Okay, this, for me, is the most hilarious thing for one reason. Anyone who has seen Joey Turner's stuff, you will know that this guy is just a ball of madness and nonsense. He's like the West Country if it was combined into human form. But hearing him here, playing what is essentially a straight role, is just hilarious, because it's in contrast to what he does best. Seriously, watch Joey in this, then go check out some of his other stuff like...
And nobody has anything to shunt, or to pull, or to disinfect, or to clean, or to wipe.
Then you'll understand why I find this funny. Now, the style of humour of this series is more along the lines of what you'd expect from Tom and Jerry, or Looney Tunes rather than My Little Pony, where it plays along the lines of, it's a cartoon, therefore we can do whatever we want. There are a few moments that occasionally appear in episodes, most notably the constant abuse towards Lyra and Bon Bon.
Good thing I landed on something soft.
I'm guessing he's not a fan of the ship. But I think the strongest point of the comedy is when it's coupled with the animation. If I were to describe the animation to you in one word, I would say it's very, Gilliam-ish. It does have that feeling of being a stiff paper-like quality that Terry Gilliam used when working with Monty Python, which always has that unique charm about it. However, it's a shame he doesn't go full Gilliam and give us some naked women to look at, but I don't think that's what he's going for. And like I said, when combined with the humour, you get some real gems.
Yeah, put it in, check your mate, I swear to me, Mom. Yeah, put it in.
I am finding this really funny,
Swear to me, Mom.
and yet also adorable at the same time. There isn't a lot I can say about this now. I've pretty much covered all this series has to give. It is worth checking out if you just want to see what it would be like if something you loved, or at the least very familiar with, be combined with Friendship is Magic. If I were to choose my favourite episodes, it would probably be either the Rapunzel episode, or the Godzilla episode, or surprisingly, the Tsum Tsum episode. Well, this is BronyDan saying, Nosta.
Flower gleam and glow, let your power shine, make the clock reverse, bring back what once was mine.